Oh, let me get this wire out of the way. Why am I clapping? There's no mic. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the Double O Late Night Show. It's I'm your host for tonight, this evening, I don't know. It's the morning here. As you can tell, I have my little coffee, little cappuccino. Feeling very aesthetic as usual. Just got a blueberry muffin, but we will save that for later, of course. You know, it was kind of funny how I said I'd come back and I decided to go to London for a week. Also going to Oxford on my way back to the homeland, Scotland, to visit some friends of the show, friends of the channel, of course. I've been listening to all the songs from my last Oxford trip, and I'm in such a summery mood right now. And it's also very sunny today, actually, and the skies are actually so clear in London today. I'm gonna flip around my camera. Look at this, clear skies here, and I'm just talking to myself, but I will not be staying here, you know, when this video comes out, so it's fine, it should be fine, but you know, one of my favorite things, ladies and gentlemen, is to get lost in a big city and have that feeling of being, you know, small. You know, I tell all my friends that I love feeling small, and they always take it like completely the wrong way. I just like feeling insignificant. But ladies and gentlemen, how does London compare to the places I have gone solo traveling before? I will say it's not as good. And maybe, you know, if I didn't speak English, you know, it would feel a lot better. But I think having that like language barrier can sometimes help you with traveling, because it feels less weird asking for a table for one, you know? Because like normally if you're abroad and you ask for a table for one, you know, they just assume you're a solo traveler. But if you do it here, you just kind of look like you don't have friends, which isn't true, ladies and gentlemen. I have friends, okay? I have friends in London, you know, but they're just all very busy right now. I've come at like the worst time. It's very sad. I have a lot of theatre friends down here studying musical theatre, and they're all like very busy rehearsing right now. So out of all of them, the most interaction I've had is like an hour with one of them. But you know, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how, but I've actually managed to make some friends down here. If you want to make friends in a city, this is what you do, okay? First of all, you gotta make sure you smell nice, because no one's gonna want to be friends with you if you don't smell nice. Second of all, you gotta find a small cramped bar, okay? Third of all, you gotta sit at the bar on the stool, okay? This is what I did back in the day. And you just gotta sit there and you gotta look pretty, ladies and gentlemen. That's what you gotta do, okay? And if you do that, people will come up and talk to you. That's the strat, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't believe me, you should. Oh, you gotta sit around people who are also alone. That's also good. That's a strategy. I don't know. I never really thought about it before because it just kind of happens for me, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I forget sometimes that I'm pretty good at being social. This is good coffee. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this was cool. Okay. I went to see Book of Mormon last night. You know, I was feeling a bit down about being alone. Sorry. But, you know, that happens to me when solo traveling. Like, the first 2 days is always, like, the hardest, you know? You know, I practically live in the West End right now, so I'm surrounded by the theatres, and I went on that website. Anyway, I managed to get a £23 ticket to Book of Mormon, so great deal, you know? And I go to the show, and it's really good. Well, actually, first of all, I want to say, who the buys box tickets to like a stage show? Can I just say this? Box tickets must be the worst viewing experience of every seat there, because I don't want to see into the wing, right? And I've been in a box ticket before, not like to see a show, but like when I've been performing. We once used a box seat as like where character should go. So I've been in a box seat before for only that reason, and you can see like straight into the wing, you know? And you know, that's like watching a film without all the like green screen effects fully finished, you know? That's why I feel like that. It breaks the immersion of like being in the show. So I don't know, I was looking at the box seats like that. Why would you spend more money on like terrible seats, you know? But Book of Mormon, incredible, you know, incredible cast. I can't wait for one of my friends to get on the West End, because they will. I'm manifesting it for them, and they're super talented, so of course they will. That's gonna be such a great time. Did theatres give out guest lists? Or is that just gigs? I don't know. I'm gonna say it, ladies and gentlemen. I think there needs to be a bigger overlap between gig kids and musical theatre kids, you know. I think there is already one, I just don't know about it, but not in my circles, you know. And I wish there was more, because musical theatre is so f***ing sick, man. Like, it's just the coolest like job you can get. I think it's incredible. The last time I went to see a theater production was this like Tour of the Lion King. No, it was Wicked Part 2, and that wasn't. Yeah, when I was telling you about my friends who I met up with in London, we were both talking about that film, and we both like beat for beat fell asleep at the same part, and like woke up at the same part, and we had like the same take, you know, because it was just, you know, the pacing of that film was it was a choice. Speaking of Wicked though, as a whole, apparently, okay, so I've only seen the West End Wicked show. Apparently my sister saw the Broadway one and the one in the West End. Damn, she must really like Wicked now, think about it. But anyway, she said the Broadway one was worse than the West End. I think the ranking probably goes West End, Broadway, the film. I enjoyed the first film actually, but the color grading, I expected it to be a lot more colorful, like West Side Story. I don't know, I saw so many fan like edits of it and it looks so much better. Like Elphaba shouldn't look gray, she should look green, you know? Yeah, apologies if the audio or the camera quality or the lighting isn't good, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not in my normal setup. So if I look chopped in this one, let me know. Let me know down in the comments how chopped I looked in today's episode, of course. That would do me wonders. Thank you so much.